Hello, Saints. The more I talk about this, the more that it makes sense. So here's the spiritual understanding real quick to why these are the end times and why God will lift up his hedge of protection very, very shortly. Okay, so God has been calling to us. If you do not see this, you're spiritually deaf and blind, okay? All the obvious signs speaks for themselves. Severe weather, mass animal deaths, moving forward, all those droughts and floods, all of those signs. This is the obvious signs in Leviticus 26. God is calling to us. Okay, so the spiritual understanding, moving forward, the spiritual understanding to why God will lift up his hedge of protection very, very shortly. Okay, so we see that after the wheat and barley harvest this year, we know that these are the days of God's visitation. Okay, now, when the wheat and barley harvest happens this year, this is when you bring the first fruits into the temple. Okay, so as God is receiving those first fruits, when God lifts up his hedge of protection, the war starts, the U.S.-Iran war starts. Then, as we're dying and we're going off to heaven, he's receiving those first fruits into the temple. Okay, that is what's taking place. Now, to back it up a little bit, to when Israel gets attacked with chemical weapons, okay, to back this up, my understanding is this. When he set us free from Egypt, he delivered us out of bondage. Our flesh was in bondage. Okay, so 7 weeks later, after the Exodus, God gave us the Torah. God gave us the law, his law. He made a covenant with, a people called by his name, a nationwide covenant with his people. The Torah, the law was handed out, and we broke covenant with God. We fell away from God, the great falling away. We fell away from God with idols and distractions. And so I feel, with all of my understanding, that the spiritual understanding to this is, yes, you have the wheat and barley harvest. That's the U.S.-Iran war. Now, the attack on Israel, I feel that is when God handed out the 10 commandments. Okay, so that's my understanding. I'll see you in the next video. You guys have a great day.